everybody. Welcome to lesson 4 of Support for the Family by the Local Parish. So this is part of Marriage and the Family, which is topic number 2 of paper 1 of the Edexcel specification. Okay, guys, so the first lesson you would have looked at was on marriage. The second was on sexual relationships. The third is different family types. So number 4, we're now looking at how does the local parish, so the Christian community, help families and help the institution of marriage, God's gift of marriage. So why do some families need help from others? That is your starter task, your thinking task. So I don't know, you might want to think of a time when your family needed help. It could be the fact that, I don't know, grandma could have passed away. It could be that dad's lost his job. It could be that mum and dad are actually really finding it difficult to stay together. Or loads of different things that happen in life. And we all know I love my subject, and I love my subject because we get to actually explore human relationships and how we can help one another. So whether or not you believe in God doesn't matter. Doesn't matter if you're a Buddhist, you're a shaman, you're a Muslim, you're a Christian, doesn't matter. It's all about helping one another. So even if you're an atheist, like a humanist, so the Humanist Association is all about helping one another. So guys, your learning objective is you all must identify and describe how and why the local church community tries to support families. Now guys, that is really important when you're working from home, is that you actually pay attention to these learning objectives. I know some of you are flying through this, which is brilliant. You should do all 3 of them. But if you're finding this really, really difficult and you only manage the first learning objective, then that's okay. Because that first one, which is all, that is the necessary fundamental thing that you've got to know. Otherwise, you won't be very successful in the exam paper. Now, the next one, for most of you be able to explain family worship, rites of passage, classes for parents, groups for children, including Sunday school. So actually explain the work behind it. So as I said, if you're struggling, guys, you're just going to identify the different examples and describe them. But if you can, go into a bit more depth, and this is explaining why they do it and explaining what happens in detail. And then so these are those of you who are going for those grade 9s and 8s and 7s to assess the importance of the local parish for Christians today. So if you don't get onto that last objective, guys, that's absolutely fine. Okay, first of all, what even is the local parish? So a parish is a local church community that has one main church and one priest or vicar. The parish members do more than just attend church. They organise community activities, social events and fundraising for their local area. The local parish provides many different services to their community, and this can be to church goers, which is known as the congregation, or to the wider community. These are services such as food banks, courses on parenting, money, mental health, scouts and brownies, loads. So task number 1, I would like you to please describe what is the local parish. If you need to press pause, please do so. And I want you to also give an example of what they do to support the community. So I'm going to put a little Google Docs worksheet, and so if you have that up as well, type your answer to question number 1. Okay, so I've now actually included some things that I have seen from the local parish in and around the world. So of course Black Lives Matter is a huge thing right now going on because of the tragic murder of George Floyd under police custody. Hopefully you know about this, and we can all agree it's absolutely horrendous. Now, the church has been really, really vocal, the local parish in America, so the congregation of their local community has been really, really vocal in the way that President Trump has handled this. So this here is a picture of Trump holding the Bible, and he basically went to a church next to the White House, had all of the protesters cleared by using tear gas, which of course is a really, really harmful substances that it causes, people to be temporarily blind for a moment. So, it really kind of stuns them in their tracks and makes them move away. Where people were peacefully protesting, and it's where the church were helping people. So yeah, they tear gassed all these people away so Trump can have a photo outside the church holding the Bible. Now, the local priests and the reverend of that particular church is absolutely disgusted with how they treated their congregation, because it's just not, number one, it's not ethical, and number two, it completely goes against everything that the Bible stands for, which is about protecting and helping the community, which unfortunately hasn't happened here. So this is a quote from Bishop Marianne Edgar. The president has just used a Bible, the most sacred text of Judeo-Christian tradition, on one of the churches of my diocese without permission, as a backdrop for a message antithetical to teachings of Jesus and everything our churches stand for. I am outraged. Now, the reverend of that church: we were driven off the patio at St. John's, a place of peace and respite and medical care throughout the day, so Trump could have a photo opportunity in front of the church. He would have had to step over the medical supplies we left behind because we were being tear gassed. People were hurt so that he could pose in front of the church with a Bible. I am deeply offended, but I am now a force to be reckoned with. Okay, so as you can see, these are two ladies who were trying to help the families, the people in their congregation as part of the local parish's response to the chaos that has taken hold of America with the Black Lives protests for social change, and the president tear gassed them. So this is more to do with the book and the messages of, why, support for the family, which is what this lesson is about, is so important because it's written in the Bible. And again, I found this in response to obviously the Trump stunt. So, do you know this book? It says that every human life is precious, crafted in the image of God, made to reflect the breathtaking beauty of a multicolored creation. That means Black Lives Matter. And here's the thing about this book: it's like a mirror. As we read it, it reads us. It should bring us to our knees and strip us of our pride. Lofty, there we go, I can't say that. Jumped up Herods end up being eaten by worms. Nationalistic religion is blown apart, and people like you and I have their privileged and self-centered attitudes discerned and found wanting. But you know what else? This book tells the story of a king who serves, a God who stoops, and a creator that crossed a divide and become part of his creation, facing death to bring us life. Running right through this book is the wonder of grace, with the unique potential to reconcile us to God and to our enemies. The message of the cross has burst through political barriers, crossed oceans, and outlasted empires, and it's birthed a global community where Jesus' welcome is extended to every tribe, where his love can transcend every culture, and where his praise to be sung by every tongue. So maybe try opening it. This book is not a prop. It is not a badge. Woe to those who use it to legitimize their warped agendas. If we'd open it up and not just hold it up, then it would open us up. So, what do you think about that? I think that, it really does sum up the absolute hypocrisy and contradictory ideas that perhaps Trump wanted to use, as in, I am the president, I've got kind of like a God-given right to lead the USA, and loads of people are seeing past that, like, no, the Bible is love, and what's going on right now isn't love. So this really does kind of feed into our understanding of why the local parish wants to help those around it. And, and not just that, guys, we've got COVID going on right now. The church is doing amazing things at the moment to help in the UK with families who are struggling during COVID-19 lockdown, which we're going to see in a moment. Okay, so here is like a summary page of the key fundamental knowledge you must know. So if you're a student that goes, Miss, I'm struggling, I just want to do the first learning objective, This is going to be your favourite slide because it says, how can local parish help families? On the left-hand side, you've got worship, you've got a quote there, and you've got the importance. Really quick fire. But if you want to continue, of course, the next few slides are now going to go in detail. So, first of all, family worship. So, family worship, of course, is really, really important for the local church, helping families. Mainly because they're bringing them together. They're bringing them together at a time, put your phone down, connect with everybody. You can sing, you can dance, you can clap, you can read the Bible, you can do what you want, but you're going to do it together as a family. Now, if I think back to my own upbringing, I was brought up as an atheist, no religion at all in my household. And even today, I'm obviously open to different perspectives and worldviews, but I don't necessarily have a religion that I follow. I can see the benefit in doing this. I can see, maybe as a child, I would have loved for me and my family all to go to, a place where we could just focus on our relationships. We've got love and support and that really kind of one-to-one time from both parents, because I grew up in a working class household where mum and my dad had to work really, really hard, which meant at the weekends it was mainly kind of doing housework and making sure that the house was okay. Of course, we sat down and had our dinner together, like a Sunday roast, but imagine if we had the whole of Sunday off. Back in the day, guys, if we go back 50 years ago, or maybe even 60 now, 70, shops were closed on a Sunday. You couldn't even go to Lakeside, because I think that's kind of what it is now for my family anyway. Let's go Lakeside and let's grab, McDonald's and, eat in the car while you're on your phones. And, is that really having a valued, connected time to one another? No, it's not. So the fact that the church opens its doors every single Sunday and every day, the church is always open, permitting that it has funding, and you can go there as a family. So family worship ceremonies include a welcoming atmosphere for all children and, of course, their parents and carers. A specific part of the service that is for children, usually a small talk, Sunday school, where you can go and learn more about the Bible. Children can take part in the services through choir. I used to love choir when I was little. And older children can actually help to lead the worship of younger children as well. And then you have some examples of special services throughout the year. So you have the Christingle events, Christmas Eve crib service, Mothering Sunday service, and the harvest festivals. So again, it's really about bringing the community together. So why is this important? What does it teach children about Christianity? Well, number one, I've explained why it's important, about bringing people together, and connecting them together, and also, connecting to God at the same time. And what does it teach children about Christianity? Well, of course, you're, developing their understanding through the worship, because when you're listening to the prayers, and you're singing the songs, and even if you're looking at the stained glass windows, you're constantly learning and developing your understanding of spirituality. Okay. Oh, and if we go back to that question, guys, you could get a B question, for example. Explain 2 ways that the local parish supports the family. And an example could be, one way that the local parish supports family is through family worship. Full stop. Okay. Ding! That's going to be your first point, your first mark, and then you need to develop it. So this means that all families are welcome to the church, where there is a welcoming atmosphere for children, and there is a specific part of services designed for children, usually a small talk. For example, they have many services such as a Mothering Sunday service and harvest festivals. Now, technically, I've given you 3 key bits of knowledge there. Family worship, I've explained it, and then I've given some examples at the end. Now, that would be a strong subject knowledge answer, really good for the B question and the C question, even the A question, but the A you just need to do, quick sentence. Okay, rites of passage. So rites of passage are special events throughout a person's life. The church helps to celebrate this through specific ceremonies. So if you look at my photo, what's going on there? Woo! It is baptism. Now, guys, you've got baptism and christenings. Do you know the difference between the two? So baptism is from the Roman Catholic Church, and christenings is the Church of England, the Anglican churches. Okay, they have Thanksgiving services that welcome the birth of a baby, preparation for confirmation. So confirmation is a Catholic way of living, and it's the whole idea that when you get to about 12 or 13, if you want to continue with your faith, so you've been baptized as a baby and then you still, accept Jesus as your Lord and Saviour, you can then confirm your religion as a teenager. And then, yes, there's communion services, drinking the wine and eating the bread. Yeah, wine for Jesus' blood and bread for his body. Now, I am going to show you a photo that I found quite funny. Hey, it's a baptism during COVID lockdown. Yeah, I found this online. Yeah, it is a priest with a face mask, with a little water gun full of holy water to obviously wash away original sin from the baby. That's what holy water is all about, guys, if you didn't know. So when you're having the holy water on your head as a baby, or if you want to be baptized as an adult, you would immerse yourself fully in a pool of holy water. And it's the whole idea of cleansing and purification, getting rid of any kind of negative energy, bad past experiences. So then you are spiritually cleansed and ready to kind of adopt a new way of living, or not even a new way of living. Many people will have kind of a blessing. It's all throughout different religions as well, guys. When I went to Bali, I went to an elephant Hindu cave, and there was this kind of spiritual woman there, and she put rice on my forehead, and then she had this water, she was and kind of sprinkling with all this water, and obviously she was cleansing me because I was about to go into the temple. So this whole idea of cleansing is really, really important. So again, it's about introducing people into the faith. So it's kind of continuing the religion and also inviting the community to your little club, essentially, your little club of, hey, we're not going to be horrible to people, we're going to be nice to people, and we're going to believe in God, because that's what Christianity is all about. Next. Now, guys, literally in the textbook, it's a long list of different things that you can do at how the local parish supports families. So group of families, got parent, baby, toddler groups. So if you want to go and learn how to change a nappy and that kind of stuff, you can go to your church. Music, art and drama classes. So my nan leads an art group every Friday in a church hall. She's not Christian, but she uses the church hall for that. So again, it's about bringing people together. I love that. Free tuition classes. For students. They will come and do school assemblies, childcare support, so I'll have a creche, children's clubs. Now, you've got specific things for parents. You've got parenting classes, family counselling. So, of course, maybe, as I said, you've suffered a bereavement or someone's really struggling with their mental health. You may want to go and speak to your local priest. You'll be able to help the family in that kind of situation and offer guidance and advice. Marriage enrichment groups. So if you've been married for 20 years and you want a new way of kind of appreciating one another, you could go there. Baptism and confirmation classes, and Mothers Union. Now, Mothers Union is actually a really, really cool group. They are a support group for Christians, and they help with bereavement, poverty, imprisonment, and also education. So if you want to learn more about Mothers Union, I'd definitely give that a Google search. Groups for adults. Now, you've got something called the Alpha course. The Alpha course is a training course that you can go on to extend your knowledge of Christianity. So yeah, again, if you want to Google Alpha course, maybe do a bit of research into what actually happens during the training, go for it, guys. They have social events, clubs and outings for the elderly, coffee mornings, and Bible study groups. Yeah, obviously during lockdown, I've been thinking, right, I really want to start doing some stuff for me again. And I used to love singing. So I kind of Googled local choir groups, and all of the choir groups in my area were all connected with a church. A lot of Baptist churches in my local area, which is just another denomination of church. So yeah, I'm a 30-year-old woman, and I'm thinking, should I go and sing with Jesus? Woo. I've also included a little Church of England logo and also a link to their website. So let's check that out together. Reason being, guys, again, there's so much stuff I really feel like you should get your teeth into. So community action for the Church of England, this is their website. So what is community action? Different types of community action projects, why start a project, how to get started. So look, we've got a lovely picture there of a woman and a man. Looks like they're doing a food bank. So look, read more about different types of projects. Why start a project? Honour one another and seek the common good. Oh, I like that one. Through the 5 months of mission. Yes, it's all to do with missionary work, guys. You'll learn about that when you live in the Christian life. But look, you've got a street pastor, which are people who are like in the street and want to kind of, speak to you and help you if you're feeling a little bit down, need a bit of spiritual enlightenment. So yeah, look, and here's a list of loads of stuff that goes on. So you've got support and befriending, so if you're really, really lonely. That's normally quite a popular one for when you're older. My nan, bless her, she always jokes, she goes, oh, my friends are dying, I'm going to run out of friends. So I'm like, Nan, get yourself down to the local church. And they do, coffee mornings. And the one in Southend, they're doing a free breakfast every Tuesday morning that I saw, a free fry-up. That's getting people in through the church doors and getting people talking to one another. I love it. I love it. Love a social. Drop-ins, financial assistance, emergency accommodations. If you are homeless, you can go to your local church and see if they can help you. Food aid. There's so much stuff. But let's got opportunities for personal development. Let's click on this one here. For young people, there could be sports and leisure activities, residential opportunities for community work, health-related activities such as exercise, yoga, must be good, healthy eating, workshops, art project. That's my nan. Shout out to Susan. Yeah, loads of stuff. Love it. Okay, enough of that. So why? Why do they do it? Why do they want to help the family? Hopefully, guys, you're like, Miss, yeah, we've got this one. Love thy neighbour as thyself. Treat others how you wish to be treated. The Good Samaritan. What's we've got? God is love. God is omnibenevolent. God is forgiving. Adam and Eve are the first people in the world, and you've got to be fruitful and multiply, which means to extend the family unit, and therefore you're going to extend it. You're going to promote that. You've got to have some support for it. It's all about the sanctity of life. All life is holy and sacred. There's so much you can talk about, but this is a new story for you. So, Bible story. Miss Marable loves Bible stories. Jesus loves little children. So, children have an important position within the family when older children can choose to take their baptismal vows themselves in confirmation. They can learn about God in their family or Sunday school, and the church can help. Now, why? Basically, there's a story, and if you click on here, guys, it will take to a YouTube clip. I do apologise. You want to scrub through it because there's a weird bit at the beginning. Basically, it's a cartoon. It's a bit kiddified. So just scrub past it till you actually get to the story. But it's basically, there's Jesus, got a picture there, and he's got loads of children all surrounding him. And basically, the story is it's called The Little Children and Jesus. So I'll just read to you here in the blue box. People brought little children to Jesus for him to place his hands on them and pray for them. But the disciples rebuked them, which means they were like, no, go away. Jesus is busy, give him some room. And all these mothers and they were like, oh, but we want Jesus to see our child, want Jesus to give a blessing to our child. And his disciples were like, nah, busy man. Jesus got a bit annoyed with his disciples. And he said, no, let the little children come to me and do not hinder them, for the kingdom of heaven belongs to such as these. Basically, it was shut disciples, let the kids come, high five, kids, woo, yeah. And he played with kids. So because of that, the church really does welcome children and to protect children and to keep them safe. So that is the end of the lesson, guys. So hopefully all of you should be able to identify and describe how and why. So how we had all those examples and why, giving you loads. Most was to explain explain certain things in detail, and some to assess the importance. So guys, if you want a stretch and challenge, I would like you to do an exam question, which I'm going to put on the Google Docs, and it will be the local parish serves no relevance for families today. And of course, you would disagree with that, with everything that we've said, but you wouldn't do that straight away, because you must always agree with the statement first. So perhaps you could agree with the statement going, well, yeah, it hasn't got any use for families because they've got a wider mission. Maybe talk about supporting Black Lives Matter, talk about supporting global climate change, support, all of the fabulous work that the church does globally. And then you can counter argue it with all the stuff that we've said today. But no, because Jesus loves little children. No, because of family worship and rites of passage. And, the rites of passage stuff, you can really, really link into the fact that it's all written in the Bible, which is, of course, the direct word of God. And it's how we show our love and appreciation and our worship to God. So include all of that in there. That would be good. Okay, how do I get back onto here now, eh? Yeah. Oh, stop presenting. Lovely. So, guys, hopefully you enjoyed that. Oh, let my little bow's gone weird. There we go. And if you've got any questions, let us know. Always here to help you. Hopefully we'll see you all soon. If not, take care and stay alert. Bye.